Dude, ChatGPT is wild, and I want to make this to show my dad what it can do because this past week I tried to have it do some calculations. I live in this like off-grid solar tiny house, and I'm building a rainwater shower out back, and so I wanted to see if it could create the same calculations that I did when I was deciding how many solar panels and stuff I needed. So I'm gonna give it this prompt, which is pretty involved. It says, how many solar panels do I need to power a 12,000 BTU mini split if my room is insulated, a MacBook Pro laptop, a 100-watt mini fridge, a microwave, charging a Tesla Model 3 enough to drive 100 miles a week, a projector, and a fan. So I just gave it the things I use that use electricity, and I said, keep in mind I'm using these for a normal amount of time each day. Assume the panels are 410 watts because those are the ones I'm going to get. Assume the mini fridge and mini split only kick on intermittently. Cool. So it goes through and it provides estimates of how many watts these things are going to use and how often they're going to be run. And I love these calculations. So this is 500 watts, so I think 600 watts is a good estimate. C rating of 20, nailed it. And then it says intermittently it's going to run about 6 hours a day, which I think is pretty reasonable. We'll see when I get this hooked up and running. So 100-watt mini fridge, a third of its capacity. So it's, I think that feels a little bit high to me with the fridge, but maybe that's about right, 800 watt hours. Microwave, 1200 watts, 15 minutes of usage per day, 300 watt hours. Charging a Tesla, this is, I love this, 250 watt hours a mile. It would be basically this many watt hours per week. Yeah. So then the projector, 100 watts, the projector is used for 2 hours a day. Fan, 50 watts for a fan, 4 hours a day. Love it, perfect. Super good. Yeah. So here's the total daily consumption. So it comes up with basically 9 kilowatt hours, which is exactly the number that I got, which is freaking crazy. So, so it's saying that 5 hours of peak sunlight per day. That means that one panel is going to be 2 kilowatt hours. Now, I think this is a little bit off. Basically, you wouldn't assume 100% efficiency here. You would assume like 80% efficiency. So I would say that you really need to have like 6 panels probably. But right up until here, I think it got the right answer. So I think that's cool. And then the next question I want to ask it is, okay, how many kilowatt hours of lithium iron phosphate batteries do I need to be able to store the energy during the day from these panels so that I can run stuff at night? The Tesla's going to charge during the day, but the Air will be run at night too. So I want to see what it comes up with here. It's amazing to me like how fast this works. It's just like, and this stuff took me so long. Oh, there's a mosquito. This is my mosquito smiter. Okay, got away. Okay, cool. So total nighttime consumption here, getting really close here. 4.5 kilowatt hours of battery storage. I think this is a little bit low. I feel like we need a more like 7, but it's in the ballpark, you know. I think the fan will use, you know, more than 100 watt hours because it's be on all night. The projector, this is only for 1 hour of using the projector. That's only 1 episode of Netflix. I appreciate that ChatGPT thinks that I am only gonna watch an hour of Netflix, but let's be real. Mini split here looks like a pretty good estimate. I think the laptop is probably gonna get used for more than an hour. 2 hours at night. I wish I was only on it 2 hours a day, 2 hours at night. Yeah, so I think you could probably add some for the laptop. But otherwise, I mean, I think this is like pretty good. Yeah, this is like in the ballpark. So then if I was gonna say, how much will this cost if I for the solar and the batteries? And I also have to pay for an inverter, but just to show that like it can also do some cost estimates. 70 cents a watt is a pretty good estimate. I think I'm gonna get them more like 59 cents a watt, so it's not gonna quite be this expensive. But there's also like a solar tax credit. So let's see if it brings up the tax credit. no, it doesn't. But that, yeah, it's saying like, hey, there's some details here. And then for the batteries, I think the batteries are going to be somewhere around there, but probably a little bit more expensive. So it's giving like a amazing estimate. Yeah, like that took me like days to figure out pretty much, because I had to look up all the watts of everything. I had to try to figure out how often everything was going to run. I had to figure out the wattage of the panels. And so anyway, I think that's pretty cool. I think that the next thing I'm going to try is doing it with rainwater to see if it's good at calculating how much tubing I'm going to need to heat the rainwater, how much water I need to live, how many gallons per minute the shower head is going to use, and how much water I need to take like a normal length shower. So I'm going to try to feed it some of those data points and see how it does on that calculation next.